Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Rohan, your marrow surgery faculty. And after a long delay, the FMG result is finally out. And I have the pleasure of introducing Dr. Rajneesh to you, who secured a score of 223 in the exam. So heartiest congratulations, Rajneesh. That's a great score. I'm sure you must be very excited after seeing the result.
Thank you, Dr. Rohan. Actually, it was just the opposite. I was working out in the gym, and my friends had been calling again and again and again that result is out, result is out. I was like, I cannot see the result. Where is it? Where is it? And
Right.
so I don't know how come I got the result, and it was completely different than being excited. And right now, I'm still like, is it actually happening or is it
True.
dream? Because I would always imagine such scenarios in my head that maybe I'll score well and then someone will be interviewing me. And now that's happening. It's,
No,
yeah,
no, it's
I'm
actually
excited
true. You've
now.
got a
Not
great
at the time
score.
of.
You've got a great score. So heartiest congratulations. And
Thank you
you
so
were
much.
preparing for the USMLE exam. When did you start preparing for FMG simultaneously? And what was your take on the exam this year? Did you feel that it's a bit more challenging than the previous exam?
I was preparing for USMLE initially from December to February. I finished the step one course and then
Hmm?
I started Marrow in full fledged for FMG because I was very scared. I took a USMLE step one mock exam without any preparation and my score was decent, somewhere around 80%. But when I took an
Right.
FMG mock exam, I scored only 40%.
So I can totally understand because I've also appeared for USMLE, so I know that there are difference in subjects, and some of the Indian subjects are not covered there. So if you're just preparing for USMLE, your score in the FMG exam can come down. So what are your thoughts regarding this FMG exam? What did you feel it was more challenging than the previous paper?
I the exam was really easy. I mean, when I
Hmm.
came out of the exam hall and I talked to my friends, I told them, even if I'm going to fail, I shall still say the exam was easy because there were such direct questions. Like, I don't know. For me, exam was easy. I cannot say for everyone. My exam
So
was
unlike
done in
USMLE,
40
there were very
minutes.
direct questions here.
Yeah, there were like very direct questions. Everyone was like, no, the patterns have changed. It's more clinical. And hence, I was focusing more on the clinical part. And, there were trivia and factual questions, which I completely ignored that, okay, who's going to ask this if it's going to be clinical? And the questions were like that. And I was totally, for once in a surprise when the exam started that, okay, I thought these questions are not going to be there. How come they are there? But yeah, I was
Right.
done with both the sections in like 35 to 40 minutes. And I was just sitting in front of screen like that the rest
So
of the
I
time.
think so. You're making a very important point that if you're preparing slightly more difficult things and if you're preparing more conceptual things, then if it's an easy exam, it will become very easy for you. So while preparing, you should always prepare a grade higher so that you can comfortably pass the exam.
Exactly. In the webinars you organized before, you always told us that if you want just 150, prepare for at least 180, 190, so that,
Correct.
they say that shoot for the stars, you will land on moon and something like that, that aim higher so that it does
True.
not hurt
True.
to be little lower than that.
Perfect. So, coming to your journey with Marrow, what all videos did you utilize in your journey with Marrow? And I'm sure you must have seen a lot of faculties, but any incident or any faculty which struck a chord with you during your preparation?
I guess that is universal that everyone is a big fan of Dr. Rohan, Dr. Sakshi, because you
Thank
guys
you.
make these complicated subjects so easy. I remember I was in Gautam Nagar for some work and I saw a poster of yours that he's going to teach this, and they're like, wow, that's like, how people feel looking at celebrities. That was the moment for me. So yeah,
Thank you.
surgery, obstetrics, gynecology, pathology, orthopedics, Dr. Abbas, great teacher, dermatology and physiology. These were the videos I used Maro primarily for, and
Okay.
radiology.
Great. And what about the Qbank? Because one thing which I've seen is that FMG students are, averse to appearing for questions or solving questions on a daily basis. They only do it in the last few days. Were you regular with the question solving and the Qbank part?
Yeah, I tried to solve the Qbank. Like initially, what I was doing in my strategy was that I would just completing the video, and they would display that this is the Qbank link to this video. Would you like to solve it? This and that. I would do that, but later I realized it will be better if I do it after a gap, so
Mhm.
that I can evaluate how much I'm able to register what I've
Great to know.
studied from the videos, and that actually helped me more
Great,
rather than
great.
solving the Qbank directly after the
Did you
videos.
did you have a percentage in mind that when you're solving a Qbank module that you should get more than this percentage questions correct when you're solving the
Yeah,
Qbank modules?
yeah, because whenever you are solving a Qbank, you get a little competitive. And I
Right.
would aim that at least I should score 80 to 90%, thinking that since I have paid too much attention to the video, looked at the notes and a couple of other sources as well, and I would score somewhere around 75 to 90%. At times, I've also scored 100%.
Great,
Because
great.
at times there were topics in Qbanks which are not covered in the video that well, so that information really helped.
To add future students who are going to appear for the exam, on an average, how many questions would you recommend they should solve on a daily basis?
See, honestly, I did not follow any such strategy of questions and this and that. But to recommend, to suggest, I would say that yes, try solving at least 50, 60 questions a day. Because the more questions you solve, you are able to register what you have learned through the videos. I
Great.
mean, there are many
And did you
questions now. I feel concepts also that they are better registered in my mind because I attempted the questions.
correct? So you also use QBank as a learning tool and not only as an evaluation tool.
Yeah, this is, I tell everyone, please, please, please use it as a learning tool. Do not dishearten yourself if you are scoring low, because the mistakes you are making right now, you do not have to repeat those in the exam. It's good that you are making those mistakes right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So make mistakes in your practice and not in the actual match. Correct. Right.
Exactly, totally.
Perfect. So did you also use the custom modules and the previous year questions of FMG? Did you filter them out and practice them as well?
We could not create custom modules for FMG, but we could for the NEET exam. And yes, I would select the subjects and fix it at 100 questions. And I would do custom modules because repeating Q banks again and again, they're like same, and my mind would know that this is the option. So custom modules were a good option. So there were many days I would not feel like studying because of burnout or just being lazy. But I made sure that I'm doing some questions, or randomly just watch any YouTube video which is about the exam.
Perfect. And what about grant tests? FMG students again are very scared of grant tests. Did you take grant tests before your preparation?
Yeah, I took the grant tests which were available, a couple of NEET ones, a couple of FMG ones, and the last grant test, which was on May 25th, I guess. Yeah,
The
I took
mock,
that as
which
well.
was there.
Yeah, the mock. Yeah,
And what was your score in the mock test?
I guess it was 240 or something.
So pretty much very close to what you've scored in the actual exam then.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the actual exam, I had ignored the factual questions, and they're like direct questions. What is the insertion of this? What is the boundary of snuff box? Which pill is there in this and that? I had completely ignored such questions. That if it's going to be clinical, who's going to ask such questions?
Fair enough. So, Rajneesh, we've seen in the FMG exam, a lot of students take multiple attempts to clear the exam, and they sometimes get disheartened as well. I would like you to point out 5 things which you did correctly to crack the exam and which can help them as well.
Well, I would say first of all, trust yourself. It is not hard. You just have to score 150, and scoring 150 is easy if you are just being regular and devoting time. Do not follow that XYZ's, focusing 14 hours. He's solving 1,000 questions a day. Just have a strategy for yourself. What is working for someone might not be the exact strategy for you. Like I used to get scared myself when I would hear my friends are studying for 14 hours, or there are webinars, seminars happening where they are saying that do not go out, do not do this, that, just focus on your preparation. But I actually studied for like 6 hours a day, and 2 hours I devoted to question bank. Two question banks, they are really important. So first one being trust yourself. Second, make your own strategy, work on your weak points. Third, do Q banks. Q banks as a preparatory source, not to evaluate yourself initially, and so that you know what are the points you have to work on yourself. Because there are some questions which you get wrong because of being careless, some questions you get wrong because you do not know the topic. So figure out whether it was your laziness or your carelessness, or if you did not know. So evaluation is very important. Fourth is attempt all the GTs. They are challenging, yes, but you get to know your strategy, how much time you can devote to a question. If you are not able to solve it, move to the next question rather than beating around the bush of the same question, because that would demotivate you and might decrease your performance for the further coming up questions. And fifth is that do not take tension. It's a screening exam. You can clear it. And you definitely will. You just have to trust yourself, trust your parents, trust your God that you have been preparing for this exam for like 5 years. Not actually preparing, but you know that in 5 years you have to take it. So just go with it. Remember why you started it.
Great. And firstly, what you mentioned was aim high. So that aim for a
Yeah,
200 or a 250 so that you can easily crack 150.
exactly.
Perfect. Perfect. What was the best feature which you liked in Marrow?
The best feature I would say that the revision videos, because once you have watched the entire module, like 60, 70 videos of a subject, and then if you review the videos 2, 3 days later after completing the subject, and then you are going through the notes as well, it's like really easy to, la, 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 this and that, and it registers more. So for me, revision videos are like a great one. And then you have added the HYT, high yield points, and delta videos where you are solving questions along with. So that prepares you, okay, how you have to select the question, how to, just scaffold through the text, look at the main points, because that is the strategy we use in USMLE as well. Because if you are
Correct.
aware that this question stem is itself like a page long, and then there are options until G, H, I, and then they are so close that you just have to look for the right option and click it, and do not change the answers.
Correct. Yeah. So, I mean, you raise a very good point that, a lot of times students say that they're running short of time. So, the revision videos and the MCQ discussion videos are a great tool to revise and also to do those subjects which they've been unable to do during their regular preparation. So, very good points which you've raised, Rajneesh. So, thank you for taking out time and interacting with us. And we wish you all the best for your upcoming USMLE exam as well. And I'm sure
Thank you
with
so
the
much.
kind of preparation which you've done, you'll ace that exam as well. So
Thank you
heartiest
so much, sir.
congratulations, Rajneesh.